Hello, welcome back to Trainz Railroad Simulator 2019. Thank you very much for joining me in this video, and today we are continuing with my first look at the East Coast Main Line from Dundee to Edinburgh. If you haven't seen the first part, please do go check that out, where I cover some information about it and talk about just a few things out of Dundee, what I think and what I'm seeing and what I do like, and maybe a few things that I feel need to be currently improved. Nevertheless, we're going to be continuing all the way to Edinburgh, though in this video I don't think we're going to get quite that far, but we are going to get, hopefully, as far as we possibly can. Let's have a look. We've got a 50 coming up right now, so am I going to make it for the 50? Let's find out. Right, trying to get me slowed down for the 50. See how this actually works. I think I want to put it in. There we go. That's it. Way into the 50. No, that's the wrong. Okay, I'm getting this all wrong right now, but we are speeding into the 50. Not by a massive amount though. There we go. Made it. Oh, we've got 30 coming up. Never mind. Never mind. Keep slowing it down. Keep slowing it down. I just noticed the 30. Alright, so some of these severe speed changes that they were talking about in the last, when I was talking about it in the last video, they're right there. There's a severe speed change right there. We need a 15 mile per hour drop. Come on. Come on, train. We cannot go into this 15 miles an hour too fast. We are going into it 15 miles per hour too fast. Yes, I am well aware of this. Alright, we're down to the 30 just about. Or not. The brakes release very quickly on this. We're not stopping here, by the way. We're just passing through. I've also been told that there are a few changes to this route coming that I've been actually having a look at, but there are a few changes that are coming to this route that may have already been changed. So maybe a few things I point out will have already been fixed. What was that? No idea what that was. So a few things have been fixed, but obviously maybe I'm going to point a few things out. I don't know exactly what it is that's being fixed. So we'll have to have a look. We will have to have a look and see for ourselves. Alright, so maybe it's a bit time for us to talk about the Deltic a little bit. I said I was going to talk about the Deltic, and I didn't actually get a chance to in the last video, so maybe now is a good time to actually talk about the Deltic. The Deltac engine, of course, is on this Class 55. It's called a Deltic because of the engine itself, but the official name is Class 55. It's a diesel locomotive, and it was built between 1961 and 1962 for British Rail, hence we've got it in the British Rail liveries with the British Rail logo, and it's one of the most famous engines in British Rail history, just the sheer size of it and the noise that it makes. It was designed for this route in particular, from actually running between Edinburgh and London King's Cross. That's the East Coast Main Line in itself. These are obviously, as it says, known as the East Coast Main Line, but technically these aren't part of the original East Coast Main Line. So it ran between Edinburgh and London, and the reason it was called a Deltic is because the engine that it has is called a Napier Deltac engine. So, I saw the whistle sign there. Right, we are good to continue for a while, I think. Let's crank that power up just a little bit more. So, a diesel electric engine, 22 of these were produced, only 22. That just shows what kind of engine this is. that it's so well known, but only 22 of them were produced. So it must have been one incredible engine. By the way, this free camera is really awesome. You use the arrow keys to move around backwards and forwards, and then you can use page up and down to move up and down like that. It's really quite cool. Right, let's go into maximum power. The wheels themselves were about 3 foot 9 inches, and it fit on a standard gauge, so it used the standard gauge, which was 4 foot 8.5 inch gauge. The wheel base between the wheels between the actual wheels was 58 foot 6 inches. The total length of the locomotive, no speed changes, no. I do need to use the whistle here though, or the horn. The length of the locomotive was 69 feet 6 inches. The width of the locomotive 8 foot 9.5 inches, and the height 12 foot 10 inches. It weighed 99 long tons, 101 tons that is, or 111 short tons, and it had a fuel capacity of 900 gallons, which is if you're from the US, that's not 900 gallons what you guys think. That's 1,100 US gallons, 900 gallons for what we have, which is about 4,000 litres, or just over 4,000 litres. The engines were obviously, as we said, the Deltic engines. Look at that. That looks so nice. What was that noise? I have no idea. I don't know what that noise was. It had DC traction motors, so as we said, it's a diesel electric engine, and it had steam heating in the train, but then they did upgrade them to electric heating, and same with the brakes. Started with vacuum brakes. I don't think this has vacuum brakes in this version. Let's have a look. Oh, I think this does have vacuum brakes. This version does have vacuum brakes. Right, I'm going to start backing off the power just a little bit. The running numbers for these were D9000 through D9021. Later became 55, so it became 55022, and you had 55001 through 55021. That was a bit scary. I don't know whether you saw that. Maybe that's one of the bugs they're fixing. I think that's one of the bugs they're fixing. Yeah, that's probably got to be it. Right, we're also going to come off the power now. And when are we supposed to be at Kirkcaldy? Departure 9:52. Start braking down into a 50. Massive braking. I'm not going to make this one. I know. There you go. Oh, we're braking further down to a 40, but that's fine. We've actually slowed it down to 40 here. That was alright. It wasn't brilliant. So this train does... The brakes aren't incredibly strong on the train. You do have to get into them a bit. You really have to get into those brakes. They were withdrawn from service in the 1980s, or between 1980 and 1982. 6 of them are preserved, and the remainder have been sadly scrapped. One of them, a few years ago, actually returned to active duty when we had some problems with not enough trains. And we didn't have enough trains, so it actually was called into active service again, moving freight around. So these have actually been in use for a while, and still are in use sometimes. It's another class 26. Lovely. Nice view here of the train. Should we get back underway? Yeah, we've done that. We didn't have another speed limit. We're actually good on the speed here. No, don't do that. I'm pressing the wrong keys all over the place. Right, let's get this going. I'm going to hide this again. I don't need that. So anything else about these? Well, they were running from London to Leeds and Edinburgh until the HSTs, so the Class 43s, my favourite engine, actually spelt the end of these engines. Now I like the Class 43s a lot, but I also like these. These then became sleeper services along the East Coast Main Line, or things like that. So they would go through Cambridge, Cleethorpes, Harrogate, Hull, Scarborough, Aberdeen, and then sometimes they'd go York to Liverpool, Lime Street. Then they'd do Edinburgh to Carlisle via Newcastle, and then by the time it got to 1982, they were gone. So the 2nd of January 1982, they were all withdrawn as soon as they got to York, and that was what's happened. Now, in terms of performance, these engines, they say, can reach a maximum operating speed of 90 miles per hour. However, the maximum speed they can actually reach is 100 miles per hour. The Deltic Napier engines actually output 1,650 bhp each. So if you double that, you're actually looking at 3,300 bhp, which I believe is a similar figure. Is that a similar figure to a Class 43? It might be. We are struggling up this hill, by the way. I'm going to full power. Tractive efforts on this train is ridiculous, which is why it can haul freight like there is no tomorrow. But it has a maximum tractive effort of 50,000 foot-pounds of torque, which is 222 kilonewtons, and it can give us continuous tractive efforts of 30,500 foot-pounds, which is 136 kilonewtons, at about 32.5 miles per hour. Other information about these trains, well, they were involved in a couple of accidents, I believe, but there wasn't really that much going on with that. And of course, as I said, the HSTs were the ones that replaced these trains. Performance-wise, though, they were really quite powerful. They were incredibly powerful trains, especially considering what they used to have. So what used to be on the East Coast Main Line compared to what then became available with this was ridiculous. So yes, there was that. Any other information I know of? I'm afraid not, though. So I'm sure there's more information about these trains, and those people who actually know the Deltics and they know these particular engines and the history of this engine or these engines will probably know far more than I do about this. Right. Now, where am I supposed to be stopping? Kirkcaldy, which we're not even anywhere near right now. We've got an uphill grade here of 1 in 100. Well, it's evening out. It sounds like that's stepping up a gear, that does, when it does that. It's really nice. Really nice. We are going to be going downhill soon. Braking in this train is going to be interesting. I do feel like this has vacuum pumps. And the reason I say that is I feel like the brakes need to be lapped, but I'm not sure exactly how to do it. I know how to actually do it on the train. So I bring it in to first application, let it spool up, bring it to running, don't release it. Or I can bring it into full service. I know I can do that, but I don't know how to do it with the controls. Oh, a little bit of audio stutter, maybe? So a bit of a look around outside. Any other camera view that we can have? Let's take a camera view about here. There we go, that looks like a nice camera view. I still feel like they need to improve those horns. At least the Doppler works quite nicely. Right, now that we're going downhill, I do need to... Why are the brakes applied? When did I apply the brakes? I don't know. Oh. Sound cut out for a second. It's odd. As we're going downhill, I am going to coast. These engines were known for coasting. Fuel saving at all costs, so coast when you can. All of the engines of this era were engines that you coasted in as much as you possibly could. There was a coast... Does this have it? There was a notch for coasting. It might be notch 1 on this. Alright, so we've got 75, 75. 50. Where is our stop? I don't actually know where our stop is anymore. We've got a 45 coming up there. Ooh, that was a bit of a wobble. Excessive curve speed? I don't think so. I do not think so. Right, we need to bring this train down to 35. 35, I think our stop is... I actually don't know. I genuinely do not know. Right, as soon as we start getting into that minus 0.91, I'm going to start hitting the brakes. And let's see if we can figure this out. So, shall do that so I can see this a little bit better. Right, I'm going to start applying those brakes now. So how does this work? Not sure that's... And then if I put that to lap, no. I need to do this. There, that might hold it. That does hold it. So it's initial, bring it back to initial. Not lap, initial. I'll slow down massively here. Just trying to learn this. I don't know where the station is. I do have stations up, right? Industry stations. Yeah? How strange. Alright, so once we get into the 45, I'm going to go back into braking down for the 35. Without a clue where the station is. Alright, I'll bring it down to 35 now. That should bring us down quite nicely. There we go, I'm starting to get the hang of it. Very slowly starting to get the hang of it. I have a feeling this might be our station. I'm going to actually slow down because I think this is the station and it's not actually marked on here. I'm going to keep slowing down now. No, this is an overgrown station. This isn't it. No? This isn't it at all. I have genuinely no idea where my station is. It says 9:52. How behind am I? I can't be. Surely I can't be that far behind. Slightly worried. It's there. I'm 3 miles away from it. That's a very, very tight schedule. Right. Hey, look. Another little nifty trick. Ooh. That's interesting. I suppose that's how it renders. Cool. You're learning lots about this now. That's actually a pretty interesting little way to look, isn't it? Let's get back inside. Very tall gentleman here. Now let's get back down to a better view. Here we go. Okay, that is really tight. I don't think I could have made that regardless. But I mean, it is 9:55, and once we get to, now it's saying we've got to go there. I think what we'll do is the next video will be from Kirkcaldy all the way across to Edinburgh. So that's when we get to cross the that red bridge over the Firth of Forth, which was designed incidentally by Isambard Kingdom Brunel, if I remember correctly, who also designed the entire Great Western Railway. Yes, I'm fairly sure it had something to do with him. I have really made a mess of this, but hey, what can you do? That's why I always do it as first impressions and first look, as well as a review, because that way you guys get to see what I think of it on the fly, the mistakes I make on the fly, and how that affects maybe mistakes that you might make or you won't make, and then you just look and think, oh, this guy's just a complete idiot. But I think it just makes better videos when I'm doing first impressions. If you want me to do more first impressions or more reviews, let me know and I'll decide. The more people say, if we want full reviews where you've tried it for a while, I'll be happy to do that. If not, I'll continue doing first impressions and then giving you a review on the fly. Right. Bit of lag in this area. Start slowing this train down. There we go. Should bring us down to 50 nicely. Perfect. I'm starting to get it. I am starting to get this. Go. So yeah, in the built-up areas there is a little bit of lag that you do have to contend with. It's nothing too major, but it is there and it is noticeable. I have been trying to push my settings a little bit further, and clearly that's not gone all too well. Maybe I'll bring the settings down just a smidge as they optimise. Come on, brakes. That looks like a good brake application to me. Yep, that looks like no, actually I need more brakes. Give me more, give me more, give me more. That's a good brake application to me. I keep knocking it into full brakes for, well, just by mistake. Let's have a quick look outside. So we've got lots of branch lines coming in, a very built up area. Actually very nicely, actually does look very nice. Got the port over there, lots of ships, lots of trawlers. And obviously we've got the station just around there. So let's, yeah, we've got a little bit, about half a mile to the station. I do want to slow this train down just a little bit more as we approach the station. So this looks like a very industrial yard, an industrial area. as we get into the 30. So around this corner is a station. It's a blind corner, it seems. Just get a little bit of braking. Well, that looks really close. Yep, there's a station, so it's actually alright. If we leave it at that pressure, we should be okay coming in. Actually, that being said, I'm going to release it because I just realised that's not our platform. Where's our platform? Our platform starts further along. So we can't actually do that. Look at that, BP, an old BP tanker. British Petroleum. You had BP, you had BR, you had BA, BT. All owned by the government at one point, I believe. And do that. Just a gentle brake application once again. There we go. Nice and gentle. Maybe that's too much still. Still not used to it. We are 10 minutes late. That's unbelievable. That is really unbelievable. There's the back of the train. Any time now that back of the train is going to pull in. Any time now. Today, tomorrow, next year. What is that noise? No? Come on. These are probably thinking this is the worst train driver in history. Which, and they're probably right. I am the worst train driver in history. Alright, let's get on those brakes now. There we go, back to the front. Yep, that's pretty good. Incredibly late. Let's have a look around this area before we end this video. What do we have? Yes. New Ford Capri. That just shows how old this is. Ford Capri, amazing cars. We've got a Spitfire with a Triumph Spitfire, very clever. Cleverly done. The MGB. Oh, that's nice. That's really nice. Station is really quite well modelled. The city is well modelled. We've got this over here. Building's alright. Outside this, we've gone somewhere else. Got a football stadium here. That's back to the station. Got some car sales there, it seems. Yep, selling some cars. Car with racing stripes. Immediately gets 5 BHP more. Here's some cathedral or church chimes. Ah, here we go. It's probably from here. Nope, that's not a cathedral. Where did I hear that? Where am I? Am I just blind? Can I not just see it? Or can I just not see it? I don't know. Anyway. Pop that in forward. And off we trot. Let's get back in to the cab. As we pull away, I'll do my outro. Any particular reason why we're not pulling away again? There we go. I guess it just needs a little bit more of a punch. Immediate dismissal. That was green, wasn't it? Well, I guess that's over. In the next one, I guess we'll go back in the other direction. I did not see that as red. That was green the entire time. Interesting. Well, here we go. I suppose we couldn't actually depart. which is why you have driver reminder appliances. That's where I'm going to end it. Thank you very much for watching. Please remember to hit the like button if you like this video. Subscribe to the channel for more videos on Trainz Railroad Simulator 2019. In the next video we'll do this, going the opposite direction. That way we get to see this side of it. So we'll see it out from Edinburgh. That should be pretty neat to see. And I think, do the trains look a little bit different? They do look a little bit different, so we might see what it's like there. Don't forget to support me on Patreon, www.patreon.com/ecgadget. Your support would be massively appreciated. It would really help me out. You can also find me on Twitch at twitch.tv/ecgadget, and that's on social media at ecgadgetlp for both Twitter and Instagram. Also, if you want to pick up Trainz Railroad Simulator 2019, link is in the description box below. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time in TRS 2019.